Sandra all the time is here with a cold heart true. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama. Call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, K-Man. Rise and shine, my good folks. How y'all doing today, honey chow? Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day in paradise. Can I just tell you? I love the Cayman Islands. Don't love all of you, but that's okay. Guess what? We don't have to. Poor ting. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the full stuff of it this morning. But where are my good Caymanian manners before we get started? How is everybody doing? Good morning. Oh man, are we not thankful to be alive today? Can we get a beautiful good morning or an amen up in here today? Miss Morna, give us a shout out, honey chill. I know you're happy to be alive. You love life too much. Mm-hmm. Yes, honey chill. Oh, let me fix my TV behind me. Hold on one second. I know a lot of you are always messaging me. Oh, hold on. About my the fact that my screen reflects. Ooh, what is that? Oh, that's hubby got something else up on the screen. What is that? What happened to my backdrop? Oh man. Smart hub connection test. No, sir. That's not what we were looking for. I'll speak to him about that. I think he's connecting it, setting up something or another. Only God knows around here what's going on. Devices and networking and this and that and new modems being set up and blah, blah, blah. He's so handy. But that's not the screen that I need. I'll message him. So I am so thankful. We're going to do a recap. Of course, today is Monday. Happy Monday. Of all of the weekend events, which includes the press briefing on Friday. So we're going to get into that here in a second. Let me, I'm feeling a little bit warm. So let me check what's going on with the air conditioning this morning. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I forgot to turn these off. There goes that bill. That's what happens when you forget to turn off stuff, you know. Even when you have smart things, you got to remember to look at them. Okay, 78 degrees. Ooh, honey, that's too warm for me this morning. I'm going to drop it down to 75. We're spending some money this morning. 75 in the studio. Make that AC work. Work and twerk it, honey chill. Summer's here. I was out in the sun yesterday playing pickleball, and can I tell you, it is hot. Okay. Well, 7:37 in the studio. Good morning to Miss Morna. Shaka Zulu is here. Miss Brenda, so beautiful to see you. Stephanie Brooks in the house. Olivia, Irvelyn, Diamond Princess, Damaris, Robert is here. Wee Wee. Yes, amen. That's right. Shaka Zulu says amen to that, Sandy. Fabulous morning to you, Blissful Powell. So good to see you. Miss Carneth, good morning, good morning. Barbara G in the house. Richard, joining us from Round Rock, Texas. Now, Richard, how close is Beryl coming to you? Because Beryl is making landfall, I think, in Texas this morning. You know, Beryl is like the storm that just keeps on barreling through. Geez, some peace. This storm been all over the place and still going. It's now a tropical storm, thankfully, and not a major hurricane. But yeah, wow. What a hot mess. Beryl don't have no respect for nobody. Just like some other people. Good morning, Irvelyn. Is that allowed here? Wow, it's glowing beautifully. Really? Trust me, this hair needs to be washed and conditioned and something. It's kind of actually rough today, I think. I just kind of brushed it and let it run wild, honey chill. Because I keep it like in a little bun, sometimes it gets a little natural curl. So we're going to rock it this morning. Why not? Still looking better than some people calling themselves Premier. Wonk, wonk, wonk. I still got to get my wonk, wonk button. I think somebody has sent it to me. Resend me that sound because I definitely need to add that to my board. Kimmy says we need to keep Texas in our prayers. It's not a hurricane anymore. It's a tropical storm. But they were hoping yesterday that it was not going to reform. When I went to bed last night, it was still a tropical storm. But yeah, they were hoping it was not going to reform into anything worse. Good morning, Miss Annie, LA, Bud Powell. How are you? Sherilyn says, good morning, K-Man, and thank God for his mercy. Yes, honey child. Mirror Star, morning. Oh, there's always another storm coming. This morning, the storm that we will be talking about is called Juju, also known as Juliana O'Connor Conley, also known as the Premier of the Cayman Islands, also known as Cayman's most duplicitous politician, also known as so many other names. Oh, I forgot about Instagram. Oh, y'all late to the show, honey chat. I just started it. Okay. IG soon log on. Also known as somebody who clearly has a problem with Sandy and she don't know. She just don't know the Sandy. Wonk, wonk, wonk. So I was thinking about how to approach this discussion this morning. First of all, let me set the context, right? So as usual, I was really minding my own business on Friday. We were live streaming it, but another member of the CMR team was actually behind the controls live streaming it. So I was not listening at all to her press briefing. Hey, Mel, she's in Houston now. She says not too bad. Probably will get worse the next few hours. Oh, girl, you take care. What are you doing in Houston? Only two things going to get Melanie to travel in Naina. Dogs. Two-legged variety and two-legged and four-legged. Knowing her, probably three-legged too, because boy, Melanie is she loves her some dogs. I gotta love Mel. She's like, oh, she'll just take in anything. Abandoned dogs, she's got such a good heart. So either one will do, Mel. Two or four-legged, don't matter. All right. So I didn't get to listen Friday, but all of a sudden, my phone started blowing up. It was like, pow, 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 like rapid fire. I'm like, what the hell? I get messages all the time. I actually cleared out my WhatsApp messages, by the way, over the weekend. So I was thinking to myself, who are all these people messaging me? What's going on? And honey, child, y'all were up in your feelings. Oh, Julie just said this about you. You're calling me. And I was like, oh, Lord, what is wrong with this woman? She seems to really take her feelings towards me to a bit of an extreme. And I gotta tell you, I got some theories behind it that I'm gonna share with you this morning. Because, she think because she's a so-called Christian these days and wear her skirts down to the ground that people don't know your past and the stories about your past. Girlfriend, please. But let me say this. Happy Pride's March this weekend, by the way, since we're on this topic. And people who can't be who they are because they want to live up in church and pretend. Okay. We're going to talk about y'all ridiculous comments about the Pride Parade because y'all really, the only thing you lose your ish about apparently is that gay people. You would be shocked to know who is having to hide because they're so scared of this community. The Lord will protect you. He will cloak you with a cloak of honesty because that's what you need, a dose of honesty. You don't need to hide. Be who you are. But boy, y'all be hiding behind the church and behind the Bible, behind Christianity and calling down fire and brimstone and Dalmatian on people. Not Dalmatian, that's a dog. Damnation. Probably Dalmatians too, while you're at it. But seriously, I want you to look very closely at me, madam. I support my LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters in being who they are because they can't help it. Neither can you. You really can't help it. However, let me set the record straight because some of y'all might be a little bit confused in your feelings. Look at this in all of its voluptuous, oversized glory. Mm-hmm. Men only, madam. Stop your feelings towards me. They're not natural. And it does make me think about a lot of other things. Okay? Oh, man. The poor phone needs a charge up. How did I miss that this was on? Lord have mercy. Is that 1%? All right. Nobody don't call for a little bit. Let me charge the phone. What happens is when it goes down to 0, it auto charges, but apparently not before then. All right. Let's let it charge up, honey child. I'll talk until then. So yes, it might be important for you to understand why you have certain feelings towards me. There's a saying that there's a thin line between love and hate. And I say there's a thin line between love, hate, and lust. Sometimes you be lusting after what you can't have. And so you really get in your feelings in a different kind of way. I'm going to make a very strong suggestion that you don't do that because I'm going to stick with facts and situations. Yeah. I don't want to have to deal with your feelings, because then I'm going to have to dig out all the stories, honey child, about the things that you've been up to back in the day. All the stories. Listen, them black people talking. You sit there. They talking lollygag more than us here on the Big Island, on the Big Rock. Truth be known. Grooming of young girls because the men off to sea, so they needed somebody, I guess. I don't know. Lots of stories be floating around the brack, honey child. And you know me, I just be here like, Lord Jesus, take the bus, take the whole little island, take the bluff. Forget the bus, take the whole bluff. Yep. I was trying to get my little charging my phone, but don't look like this is even charged up post-storm. Anywho, we got to do some fact checking and some fact telling this morning, because I think it is interesting how she seems to always have CMR in her thoughts and prayers. Please get your coffee. Someone said I have not had my coffee yet. This is probably not a morning for you not to have your coffee. Now, y'all know I do not drink, and I don't really condone drinking in any way, shape, or form. However, I'm going to suggest you put a little toops of something extra in the coffee this morning. The pronunciation police is here. Ras, what's the new word of the day, Soka? Restoration. You sit there. She says it's voluptuous. It's voluptuous. Okay, Soka. Me and Julie both gonna need you to help us pronounce a few words this morning. Because what a woman that has verbal diarrhea. She says a lot and nothing all at the same time. I'm gonna break it down. I don't normally listen to her, but I listened to her last night about Friday, and I was just like, what the hell is this? All right, we come into that part of the equation. So, what a hot mess. She's always thinking about me. Like I said, it's not quite natural. I mean, I would think that as premier of this country, this woman has a lot more to be talking about, such as the dismal education system that has been under her watch now for 2 terms and continues to fail. At some point, we've got to hold her accountable for that. Now, I also do hold the technocrats, the civil servants, the chief officers in particular, directors, whatever new fancy names they want to come up with, I hold them accountable as well. But she has some blame to play here. She wants to give them big time pay raise, and no criteria tied to that pay raise. No way to assess their performance. Speaking of performance, somebody was showing me report cards and stuff of what they no longer give traditional report cards. Apparently in middle school, they do some jacked up thing that nobody even understands. I know I was well confused when I saw it. I needed to call a teacher and have him explain it to me. And now I still don't understand. No, sir. I mean, what the heck? Well, as luck would have it, I might be able to show y'all some of that if I can get there. But education is such a dismal mess. Like, I don't even know where to begin. All right. So she's up in her feelings and always have our name in her mouth. And I thought about this for a second. And of course, I didn't listen on Friday or Saturday. I listened late last night because I wanted to try to enjoy my weekend. And when I start thinking about this woman, I don't really get a sense of enjoyment from the situation. I'm going to be honest with you. You know that the devil, y'all read your Bible, I hope. Oh, yes. And she's an expert on the Bible. But you know who else was an expert on the Bible? Satan. Because he was once an angel. He knew all the verses and he knew how to get to Adam and Eve and what to say and how to sound good. And so that when we talk about people wolves coming cloaked in sheep clothing, there are some very good examples in our leadership realm that we should pay attention to. And don't let them fool you with fancy words that oftentimes go nowhere. It's like the staircase to nowhere. You know that house that lady built after her husband died and left her all that money because she didn't know what to spend it on? She didn't know she could actually help people in the world with money. So she kept adding on and building to her house because she had some psychic nutcase tell her, as long as you keep building, you'll keep the spirits away and you won't die and whatever. So this woman would literally build passageways and corridors that went nowhere. That's what comes out of the premier's mouth. Words that go nowhere. Verbal diarrhea. Don't make no sense when you really listen to it. So last night, as I was sitting there listening to it, forcing myself to listen to it, like I said, I should have been drinking some Hennessy, but I don't drink. It occurred to me that she says a lot, but nothing all at the same time. I'm like, what is she even talking about? But in all that verbiage, for her to keep finding Mall Road's name, I think is so interesting. Now, y'all know me. I can become a little firecracker sometimes, 10:30 shows. But I said to myself, hold on a second now. I don't even know if she's worthy of a 10:30 show. She might get there, but not yet. But you know what I said? I was thinking about this. I was like, hold on, Sandy. You know, the fact that she keeps talking about you, they say there's no such thing as bad press. So the fact that she keeps talking about you is actually a really good thing. She's giving you, I can't pay for the free advertisement that she keeps giving CMR and Mall Road. Given the number of people that were blowing up my phone on Friday. Oh my God, Sandy. I gotta make y'all read some of the comments. Look, this one. That woman, Juliana, makes my blood boil. She's acting like they do so much, but we always having to rely on CMR for so much because they always late. That who government drags their feet so much. She gets Kenneth to come on CMR. I don't think she does that, but anyway, he's not paying her too much mind most of the time, and announces all the happenings. Because if it was up to Radio Cayman, the poor people would know. I think they meant to say wouldn't know. Well, that's because y'all not listening to Radio Cayman. Let's be honest now. Her Coast Guard, we the people, thank you, Sandy, as you come on to help the people of the Cayman Islands keep updated. You know, Cayman Road was going to come up. Cayman Mall Road. Yeah, we know it got come up because, like I said, she's a little bit obsessed. And I hear me now. I was like, she mentioned us again. The press conference she had a couple of days before, she mentioned us. Mall Road. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? This next person sends a copy of it and says, look at the bottom. Subscribers mode on. What a bunch of hypocrites. They want you to subscribe? Did she just call us? I love how you say call us. Aw. She don't know the power of Mall Road and how you guys have really taken ownership of this platform. But she's out of touch. She's the most out of touch premiere that we've had in a minute. Did she just call us Grab Road, WTF, and other expletive, laughing in the background, expletive them all? I can't even answer her because they wanted to put something in the comment, but apparently they have it blocked where only subscribers can put something in the comment. This next person says, oh, Julie gabbing at you. And hear me now, I said, what about? The conservation bill basically saying the Gab Road got it wrong. Of course, I put an expletive there, but I had to blank it out because I was going to post this. But y'all can imagine what I called her. Begins with a B. Fill in the blank. And the person says press briefing was a bunch of self-serving egos. Oh my God. Hold on, there's more. Y'all were sending me the most about her. Hold on. And we're going to break it down. We're going to go through the press conference and see exactly what she had to say. Give me 1 second. Let me get this comment that came through. Oh, honey child. She's special. But boy, she had my phone blowing up on Friday. All right. Have a look. Uh-oh, hold on. Have a listen to this one. Mm-hmm.
No, everybody was talking about Juliana. Basically, I want to be careful with my words, but basically calling you out on the press briefing and just being very rude. Obviously, she obviously shown for the first time that she got an issue with you. Maybe behind closed doors, she's always shown that she has issues with you, but she let it be known on the press briefing. I think she called it a grab. She did say, if I hope people quoted this right, she started off by saying your name. She said, "We can't believe everything we hear on the Mall Road or the Grab Road," because she knows it's just more than Mall Road that's putting out false information out there on stuff. So when I heard that immediately, I took a step back. I was like, wow, that was like a direct hit at you, which is not professional coming from um, someone of her level, right? Obviously, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Like it doesn't have integrity attached to it. One thing I respected about Wayne and other politicians is that they, even if they had a problem with the media, they would never make them know directly, because at the end of the day, the media is your friends or your enemy, but you can't let them know. You can't let them know how you feel about it, because you still need to use the media in some aspect, right? So yeah, it was painful to watch. I don't know if you got to watch a recap, but she was just extremely rude. And I think even my wife was saying it when we were watching the press briefing. Watching her, how she took on that press briefing, made us miss Wayne 10 times more.
Mm, 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 mm. Wow. Somebody said gravel road. I think she said grab road, but we're going to listen to it. I'm not even sure. We're going to listen to it because, like I said, a lot of times she's definitely mispronouncing all kind of words, but y'all not really listening because she talks so fast that she can confuse the bottle right out of your hand as a baby. I'm just saying. So, wow. You know, while you consistently talk about Mall Road, you're doing yourself a disservice because people are seeing your grudge, you're seeing your unprofessionalism. And to be clear, this isn't the first time. This is the first time, I guess, maybe these people are hearing it. But this is not the first time, my apologies, that she has come after CMR. In fact, you guys remember the video that I played before where she stood up in front of a bunch of civil servants and she talked about what was the term that she used again? She said something about us being oh god, I got to start archiving these because we're treacherous. CMR is treacherous. Y'all remember that? And the civil servants like a bunch of fools sitting there laughing. Well, actually, she's the bigger fool because you know what they say: just because somebody's laughing, sometimes they're laughing at you and not with you. Because these are same civil servants that do nothing but complain about this woman and her lack of professionalism and her lack of accomplishments and everything else. So she can take solace in thinking that they are laughing with her. Child, please. The first place they turn is the Cayman Mall Road, just like you. And I'm going to demonstrate to the people how incredibly duplicitous you are. So let us be very, very clear. Behind closed doors, she has had enough to say because everything that they do in cabinet, even now that she's there, because they always used to blame poor Ween. I know he used to get the brunt of it. But he must have telling Sandy that's going on up in cabinet. No, all of y'all are duplicitous. Every single one of you, backstabbing fools that we've elected as MPs. Right? When it comes to saving your own rear end, election time is here and making yourself look good. You'll do whatever it takes to get reelected. Bend over because you can take it. So when y'all ready, you're talking on her too. Y'all calling me, oh, Sandy, I know she'll get upset, but I gotta be coming on your show. Who cares if Julie gets upset? She has you guys so scared that you really worried about this? Really? Ruling with fear is not a real ruler, madam. I hate to tell you. But you need to check yourself. So yes, behind closed doors, caucus, cabinet, walking down the halls of government building, she's there constantly complaining about Mall Road. Oh, and I almost say I got Mall Road. But I do know the time that we did the expose, I remember in UCCI, you were still gabbing, talking about, oh boy, look like Sandy telling me information I didn't know. This is good. I might like her after all. Don't like me. Please do us both a favor. I don't need you to like me, and I would actually rather you didn't. Because your kind of liking and my kind of liking not going to be driving together. Listen to me. Focus on what we're paying you over $12,000 a month to focus on. And that would not be Cayman Mall Road. Right? You got your BFF over at Radio Cayman. Yes, I see y'all taking your little cruises together and whatever else. That's fine. I know how y'all brackers are, honey Jim. I'm well aware. Living your best life. Okay. Pumping all the money in the world into Radio Cayman, and they still can't perform. You still got, but you talking about CMR and thinking about CMR every 2 minutes. You know why? You know what this is really all about? The question that was put to her was about the National Conservation Act and the National Conservation Law. So we're going to break that down. Because you need to pick sense from nonsense. And this woman speaks about 90% nonsense and 10% sense. And you've got to listen to what she says, what she doesn't say. And when she thinks she's smart, she's trying to pull the wool over her eyes. So we've actually done a very good job of trying to bring people all of the information that we have available on the National Conservation Act and the proposed changes. You know what would be really great for a woman who has verbal diarrhea? If you actually got in front of the people and told them, instead of having people speculate, how about you tell them what changes you guys are proposing? You've already said you've sent drafting instructions to cabinet, to the legal drafters department. So you know what you want to change. Tell the people. You know what is so funny? I made the following observation of how at Friday's press conference, like I said, I listened to about 90% of it. I fast forwarded what everybody else had to say, but I did listen to the premiere quite carefully. And so I've got a lot of what she said here. And I found it so interesting that one of the things that she did is how she kept going on and on when she was talking to Wendy, singing Wendy's praises. Oh, I'm so glad you're such an environmentalist. Say what? Shut. Stop lying. You know the Lord, one of these days y'all can get straight down for lying, you know. You hate Wendy for being an environmentalist because you're not an environmentalist yourself. Let's be very, very clear. I don't know why you were kissing her English white behind that morning. Maybe it's because you were sitting next to another English lady and you thought, oh, it's much easier to kiss her butt today and go after the little brown girl from Georgetown who was walking around Georgetown barefoot. But don't come for me, you know, because this is when my Caymanian head might actually take me. That's going to be the difference between me and Wendy. Because when I tell you about your black dog and behind, then you're going to know. Ironic, isn't it? She doesn't like Wendy Ledger any more than she likes me. But oh my gosh, if kissing somebody's butt was a professional sport, on Friday, she would have won the gold medal. She was all up in it. I'm going to make y'all judge that for yourselves. Let's get into it. Listen.
Really hot Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. That's getting hotter. We're going to have probably a lot more storms this year. So can you tell the public why you all feel that this is an appropriate time to remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way, given the mitigating measures the limited mitigation measures that it offers us for, protecting ourselves against future storms?
I can answer that quite easily. Thank you, Wendy, for your concern always on environment. It's admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
Lies. Admirable and appreciated. What size of bed you wakes up on, woman, where you can lie so much? I know she wasn't fooling Wendy. I can tell you that. Wendy, not that stupid.
So that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it because we're not doing it.
Thank you.
So that's an easy fact. check. You heard it from me.
Fantastic.
Easy fact check. She says, you heard it from me. More like easy lies. You lie so much, you don't even know when you're not lying. When them old people say, Sandy, you know when you can tell, you know how you can tell when she lying? When her mouth open. Yeah, that's her. Wow, we're not doing it. I'm going to play it again because y'all need to hear exactly what the woman said in her own words. And then you got to hear what she said later on. Now, she thinks she's smart, you know. Yes, honey child. You know what they say, lawyers are liars. Well, I'm not going to go that far because I know the lot that are not. However, that's what she's been using that law degree for all these years. A wordsmith full of lies and duplicitous behavior. She's the most duplicitous person that we've elected in public office for the past 30 years. Nobody can trust her, and they all know it. Let's listen to what she said again. Hear the question. Hear what Wendy put to her, and hear her response and what she actually said.
Exceptionally hot Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. That's getting hotter. We're going to have probably a lot more storms this year. So can you tell the public why you all feel that this is an appropriate time to remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way, given the mitigating measures the limited mitigation measures that it offers us for, protecting ourselves against future storms?
I can answer that quite easily. Thank you, Wendy, for your concern always on environment. It's admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it.
An environment, admirable and appreciate. Let me just back up again.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it because we're not doing it.
Hold on.
I can answer that quite easily. Thank you, Wendy, for your concern always on environment. Admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it because we're not doing it.
Thank you.
So that's an easy fact check.
We're not doing it. Okay. All right. Now, let me tell y'all something, right? I have a real issue with people who don't actually answer the question that was asked of them. Now, don't for 1 minute think that Juliana O'Connor Conley is in a fool. What she did was said, we're not doing it. But what was the question that was put to her? My God, she's almost as bad as President Trump and Biden. I watched 5 minutes of their debate and I had to turn it off because clearly none of them know how to answer a question. This is the kind of thing that every single time I watch a pageant and they put questions to these girls, they don't know how to answer the question. I don't know what kind of law school she supposedly went to, but when I was in law school, our instructors always said, read the question, answer the specific question. When I was in debate in high school, what is the question? But you see, it's not that she didn't hear the question or she didn't understand the question. This is a cheap attempt at fooling people. But she not gonna fool us. Let's listen again to the question. And her answer is, we're not doing it. So you need to ask yourselves, doing what? Listen to the question again.
Exceptionally hot Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. That's getting hotter. We're going to have probably a lot more storms this year. So can you tell the public why you all feel that this is an appropriate time to remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way?
All right. It was a two-part question, in fact. Remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way. You heard it? Those were the two questions. Now, Julie said, oh, I can answer that easily. We're not doing it. So she answered a two-part question by saying that we're not doing it. So we're not removing the scientists from the National Conservation Council. So we should see nothing coming in the amendments that has anything to do with the makeup of the National Conservation Council. And number two, we're not doing anything to weaken the National Conservation Act in any way, because that was the question put to her. And y'all heard her answer. We're not doing it. Now, her response was clear as mud because we have, what's his name? From the Compass, James Whitaker. He comes on and he says, I'm confused by your answer. Okay, let's see what I could understand his confusion. Johan says today is the day I lose my Caymanian status. Without one thing unless she has a way to shove me back 50 years ago where I come from, she can't do that. I don't care which bluff she off of. Listen carefully now. Listen to the confusion that the woman has created, but yet has the audacity to tell James that he obviously did not hear what she said.
Well, thanks for clarifying, because I was a bit...
Oh, hold on. That's the second part. Hold on. Let me get the first part. Hold on. Yes, here we go.
But I'm equally elated that when we brought them to the cabinet room, Ms. Julie and Tom, they're reasonable people, they're professional, and they are persons who live here and have an interest. And so it was extended to further time. The justification for that was that obviously during Ivan, we had a lot of infrastructural damage. And so it caused problems in recovery afterwards. And so they were trying to protect the infrastructure, seeing that the impact of the storm is going to be most heavily felt on the south coast of Grand Cayman, unlike the Water Authority.
I think
this exercise, but particularly from a tourism perspective.
Hold on.
Those of the, rather than going on inclement weather.
Hold on.
1,000 individual hotels.
Yeah. Hold on.
This is you've learned. So there is.
Donna, I can ask again.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, so just to follow up and make sure I understood correctly, did the Premier say just a second ago that there was going to be no changes to the conservation law under this administration? Is that what she was saying, and why that change of heart? And do we think then that there needs to be anything else done to protect wetlands and that balance between development and the environment, given the kind of drainage and storm resilience role that some of those natural features perform for the Cayman Islands?
Thank you, Donna. In law, we would say that's a leading question, but as a former practitioner, I will respond accordingly. One, you did not hear me say that.
Really?
Secondly, the question from Wendy.
Whoa. Back it up. Rewind. Hit the rewind button. You did not hear me say that. You see, this is where things get clear as mud. Okay? Did not hear you say what? Now, you can't tell James Whitaker what he didn't hear from what he heard. That's not how this works, honey child. What you can say is, I didn't intend to say that. If that is what you heard, then you have misunderstood what I was attempting to say. That is a whole different situation. Then you did not hear me say that. Are you sure that's not what he heard you say? Because I can tell you what, when you answer a question with a response like, no, we're not going to be doing anything, then I'm confused. Let's back up. Let's back up a second. Because she's saying that she didn't say that. Let's go back and hear what she did say to Wendy. Okay? Give me 1 second now. Because this is where she starts to muddle the waters. First, she starts out by responding about how, in law, that would be a legal question. No. Let's leave the law aside for a second. What you're doing when you respond with that little introduction is you're seeking to set the foundation of confusion. For a woman who reads her Bible as much as she does, she should know that the Bible speaks about confusion, and the good Lord says him not like it. Why? Why are you seeking to confuse people? confusion aside. Put your duplicitous words aside. Speak clearly so that people can understand what it is that you said. You had an obligation to answer Wendy's question properly, not with a, oh, we're not going to do that. Let's go back. Hold on. The man is confused, and he has a right to be confused.
Why you all feel that this is a appropriate time to remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way.
Weaken it in any way. Y'all need to, and listen, she's no dummy. It's not that she did not understand what Wendy Ledger was asking. You don't need to touch the National Conservation Act unless you intend to weaken it, because certainly this administration will in no way, shape, or form seeking to strengthen it. So Wendy's question, removing the scientists from the National Conservation Council, or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way. What was her response to that? She says, I can answer it simply. We are not doing it.
Mitigation measures that are officers for, protecting themselves against future storms.
I can answer that quite easily. Thank you, Wendy, for your concern always on environment. It's admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it because we're not doing it.
You're not doing what? Okay, you're not doing what? Because let's look at when you said you're not doing it. We all heard that. Now let's look at what James Whitaker actually heard, because she said, you didn't hear that. Hold on.
Well, thanks for clarifying, because
Hold on. Back it up, James. Back it up.
Well, thanks for clarifying, because I was a bit. Well, thanks for.
Oh, hold on. I cut it too far. Hold on 1 second. I was trying to cut just his all right, hold on. Because what she says then becomes a little bit confusing. Not a little bit confusing, a lot confusing. Because then you got to hear what she says. You did not hear me say that. But I heard what you said. James heard what you said. Now, whether or not you want to now claim that you didn't intend to say that might be a different thing. But don't tell James that he didn't hear you say that, or that you didn't say it. Hold on. Let's bring James back in. 1 second. You did not hear me say that. Hold on a second, honey chill.
Yeah, so just to follow up and make sure I understood correctly, did the Premier say just a second ago that there were going to be no changes to the conservation law under this administration? Is that what she was saying?
Hold on. No changes to the conservation law under this administration. Is that what she was saying? It was actually a question. What did she say? What was her actual answer to Wendy?
For your concern always on environment. It's admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it because we're not doing it.
We're not doing what?
Thank you.
So that's
okay. So we're not doing, there's a two-part question. One was removing the scientists from the National Conservation Council. We're not doing that. The second one was making any changes to the legislation that weakens the legislation in any way, shape, or form. She says, we're not doing that. She gives a blanket response. We are not doing that. Then when James comes on,
Why?
and says, oh, I heard you said there'll be no changes. She's like, that's not what I said. That's not what you heard.
So just to follow up and make sure I understood correctly, did the Premier say just a second ago that there were going to be no changes to the conservation law under this administration? Is that what she was saying, and why that change of heart? And do we think then that there needs to be anything else done to protect wetlands and that balance between development and environment, given the kind of drainage and storm resilience role that some of those natural features perform for the Cayman Islands?
Thank you, Donna. In law, we would say that's a leading question, but as a former practitioner, I will respond accordingly. One, you did not hear me say that. Secondly,
Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Thank you, Damien. So she said, you did not hear me say that. Okay? James asked a question. He didn't make a statement. I heard you. He said, let me clarify. Did I just hear you say? Because when it comes to proper communication, James has it right. You ask the question. It's called a clarifying question. Let me see if I understood what you just said. To tell somebody in response to that, you did not hear that, you can't say what the man heard from what he didn't hear. Obviously, he's seeking clarification. Hold on. Didn't this woman win an award a couple months ago for supposedly being a good listener? Good listener where? This demonstrates her poor. She wasn't listening to James. Should somebody say she can get another award? Good, awarded for good listening skills. Listening to who and to what? Okay. You did not hear me say that. Well, he's asking a clarifying question. Now listen to what she says. Juxtapose this against what she said to Wendy. It was a very no, we're not doing that. Y'all heard Wendy's question. It was a two-part question. This woman is a lawyer. You see when she responds how she's like, oh, that's a leading question. Really? Leading you where? Because you're leading us, the people of the Cayman Islands, down the road of damnation and destruction. Leading where? You fancy yourself to be this highfalutin attorney. And you're always thinking about, oh, this angle, that angle, fine. You've got such an amazing brain that you can do that. Okay. Why didn't you answer Wendy's question properly? This is my point now. Why didn't you in that moment? There have been months now of speculation about what this government is doing to the National Conservation Act. You even mentioned in the next 7 days, the legal drafters will receive instructions and then you're going to have a draft bill. Why not just come out in this moment and say, this is what we are planning on changing? It would have been so easy to be upfront and honest. This situation with the environment is one that they will not win. You, the people of this country, better hold her foot to the proverbial fire. Hold every single one of them collectively responsible. I don't care what is being said behind closed doors. Because if they would be honest with the people, straightforward with the people, stop speaking double talk with the people, we would know what the proposals are. And we would be able to have a full and frank discussion on it. The fact that Wendy Ledger has to publish an article speculating, and then the rest of the media has to grab that up. Because yes, there are people in cabinet in her own ranks who do not agree with her position, but they're a bunch of cowards. Instead of them coming to the people that they represent and say, this is my position, to hell with collective responsibility. Because if collective responsibility is wrong and taking you down the path to hell, you gonna still stay on the bus talking about collective responsibility? Look, you better find those prayer beads and start rubbing them a little bit harder. Because y'all can only find Jesus in prayer beads when it's convenient for you to do so. Find your prayer beads, because I'm not impressed with your lack of silence on the issues that matter to the people of this country. You're going to sit there and allow this woman, who we're demonstrating right here today, speaks out of both sides of her mouth. You can't even understand. Tell me how many of you are woefully confused this morning about what it is she just said. She says, we're not doing that. And then 2 seconds later, James Whitaker from the Compass asked her another question to clarify, oh, so that means that you're not going to be making any changes. Are you strengthening it? Then she tells him, you didn't hear that. What?
That there was going to be no changes to the conservation law under this administration. Is that what she was saying? And why that change of heart? And do we think then that there needs to be anything else done to protect wetlands and that balance between development and the environment, given the kind of drainage and storm resilience role that some of those natural features perform for the Cayman Islands?
Thank you, Donna. In law, we would say that's a leading question, but as a former practitioner, I would respond accordingly. One, you did not hear me say that. Secondly, the question from Wendy was whether I was going to remove the scientists.
No, madam, I won a listening award. That's not Wendy's question. That was part 1 of Wendy's question. Somebody said that's not even a leading question. Child, she don't even know what a leading question is. It was a question, a clarifying question. The woman don't listen. Listen, there's a reason why she got out of law and into politics, you know. And it doesn't take much. You don't have to be the sharpest to be a politician. She would not have survived in the law, politics, and the legal profession. She would have been one of them that nobody wanted to hire. That was not Wendy's question. You won a listening award, but yet you're incapable of listening. You know why that is? Let me tell you why that is. I know a thing or two about communication now. Trust me. Yeah, Mama got a little communication degree, you know. And I've taught communication courses. I understand it quite well. You know, when you're sitting in a conversation, this is the definition of active listening versus you not paying attention. She knew Wendy would ask this question about the environment because Wendy, if nothing else, Wendy is actually very, very predictable. And she got ride this environmental train right into the sunset. Bless her little heart. She knew the question was coming. And so what she did, instead of listening to Wendy's question and answering the question as she should have, as any good practitioner, she claims she's a practitioner of the law, any good practitioner would have answered the question, except when they're trying to deceive. When you see lawyers not answer questions directly because they have the ability to do so, it's because they're being deceptive. And not just lawyers, people in general. When you don't answer a question directly, you are lying. You are being deceptive. Now you sit back and it turns out you only heard one of the 2 questions that Wendy asked. She said it in her own words. You know why? Because she wasn't really listening to Wendy. She was too busy kissing Wendy's butt. Oh, you're the environmentalist. You should be nominated for an award. Oh yeah, you know, thank you. And she already had a response ready for Wendy. Listen again. That's why she could jump in
this year. So can you?
That's why she could jump in and so quickly answer Wendy's question.
You tell the public why you all feel that this is an appropriate time to remove the scientists from the National Conservation Council or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way, given the mitigating measures that
or weaken the National Conservation Act in any way. Then she says, oh, I can answer that. That's because you're not active listening. You knew the question was coming and you already had a predetermined answer in your head.
The limited mitigation measures that offers us for, protecting ourselves against future storms.
I can answer that quite easily.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Wendy, for your concern always on environment. Admirable and appreciated.
Thank you.
The answer to that is quite easy. I don't even have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it. Of course, not only do you not have to think about it, but apparently you don't even have to listen to the actual question that was being asked of you because you have a preconceived answer in your head. I don't have to think about it because I've already thought about it and I know exactly what I'm going to say. And this is what was said.
Because we're not doing it.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay. That satisfied Wendy because Wendy had to run back to court. Because normally Wendy would have come back and say, you're not doing what? Let's clarify. Let's dig a little bit deeper. So when James Whitaker comes.
Remove the scientists. Again, that was not.
That's not. It was a two-part question, ma'am. According to you now, you only heard one part of the question, Miss Lawyer, practitioner, legally trained, premier of this country, uber smart. You missed part 2 of a question. Let me tell y'all something. In law school, missing the second part of the question would have got you a failing mark. 1 second, honey chair. Let me find my thing to plug it in. You would not have passed. So I don't understand how you answer one part of a 2-part question and then think you so smart and you answer the question. Good morning, caller. Hello? Uh-oh, hold on. Let me try to plug it back in, honey chill. I was trying to charge it. 1 second, please. Thank you. Hold on. Hello?
Good morning, Sandra. How
yes, morning. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yes, my dear chill.
Listen, this woman, I'm not going to call her a premier because she's certainly not my premier. I certainly had no opportunity to vote for her. And if there was an opportunity to vote for her, she would not get my vote, not today, not yesterday, not next week, not next century if I live that long, which I won't. The woman said she does not have to answer that because she knows as a Cheshire cat that she is not held by any true accountability within the parameters that we are governed by here in the Cayman Islands. The woman knows that she doesn't have to give transparency because she is not governed by anything which actually gives transparency to the electorate or the people of the Cayman Islands. The woman knows that she can get away with dishonesty at every step along with the rest of them. Unless and until the Cayman Islands and her people, all of us, come to the point where we can demand a government that we can believe in, that we can trust, that we can have some modicum of hope for good governance, some modicum of hope of anything other than pure maladministration, bout after bout after bout after bout. We should expect nothing more than the dishonest, charlatan conceit on display. That's all I got to say this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I mean,
I appreciate
the woman
it.
knows she can get away with it. That's why she has a smirk on her face.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. So, she heard part of a question, answered very, very confidently, and then she'll come back now on the point of clarification and the question of clarification and say, oh, the question was, first of all, she's going to tell him what he heard. You did not hear me say that. Yes, he did. He did hear you say that because as it turns out, in your own words, you are now admitting that you only answered one of 2 questions. And that is what you said. So thank God that James asked a clarifying question because we get to see exactly how confused she actually is. Continue to listen.
Situation, so that was easy to respond to. The second question from Wendy was whether I was going to remove the scientists. Again, that was not the situation, so that was easy to respond to. The third rule is that there's a rule called anticipation, and currently the process that we've reached.
What rule? I'm confused. When did she start? Where was rule number 1? And what is she talking about rules? She kind of switched up on me here where I was like, huh? What? What is she talking about? Anyway, let's go with the confusion because I honestly don't know what she's talking about here.
The third rule is that there's a rule called
second rule, third rule. Where was the first rule?
Anticipation. And currently, the process that we've reached with the national conservation law is that Cabinet have now approved drafting instructions, which have gone to Attorney General Chambers. We are not yet in possession of the draft bill. I anticipate that members will be in possession of the draft bill within the next 7 days. But I can tell you, based on the instructions, I won't say Mile Road because there was more of them. The gravel road in Cayman did not quite get it right. But because I've been on this.
Okay, so Wendy Ledger didn't get it right. CMR, which had to go off of what Wendy Ledger said, didn't get it right. Compass, which went off of what Wendy Ledger said, didn't get it right. Why wouldn't you just take this opportunity to clarify for us what we got wrong? What is it that's coming in the drafting instructions? You see, when you're an honest person and you have nothing to hide, these kind of wordsmith games are not what you engage in. This woman has had ample opportunity. She loves OC's show. She has the midday show over on Radio Cayman. She can use CIG TV. She can sit down and do recordings and send out her messages. This government owns 2 radio stations, CIG TV, plus government communications. Anything they want to say, they have all kind of speech writers at their disposal, all sorts of stuff. Folks, anything they want to say, they have the opportunity, as they do every single day, to put it out there in more ways than one. Her refusal to tell the people what these supposed changes are. First, she claims really that there's no changes coming, because that is what she said. Then she turns around and says, nope, stuff has been sent to the legal drafters. And in 7 days, we should have that back. And then we're going to fast track everything so that you, the people, don't have an opportunity to galvanize your campaign. This woman is in her feelings. She's about Gab Road. She's in her feelings that the little old Gab Road and the little old Ma Road has done more, and I'm going to use one of her fancy words, to elucidate the people about what is going on this issue, more so than she has. Why has she not taken the opportunity to tell people what her intended changes are? The only person that has spoke on this has been former disgraced speaker McKeeva Bush, now in court for rape, previously assaulting women and all kind of foolishness. He's the only one, the only little lackey that could come forward and speak on this. And even to him, couldn't speak about what changes were supposedly coming. Just that whatever they do, he can support. Of course you can support it. Because they put you back in the fold. Because you're broke financially, because you have a gambling problem, you have an alcohol problem, you have a problem with women, which you refuse to admit. You're another one that should have been in the front of the Pride Parade. But y'all don't want to be honest. Y'all need to stop lying and stop being duplicitous. Show your pride, Julie, and you, Mandy, McKeeva Bush. Stop lying to the people of the Cayman Islands. We don't need it. You lie about your personal affairs. You lie about government affairs. You lie every single time your mouth opening up. But he's the only one who had half a nut to come out and speak that he can support it because it needs to be changed. Well, what are the changes? Tell us. If it needs to be changed, surely you can tell the people what the changes are. Why? Why this cloak of secrecy? Why are you refusing to do it? Let's continue to listen to her talking about Gab Road.
A long time. I understand that truth has that innate, wonderful propensity and capacity to surfacing and becoming most conspicuous.
Say
Did
what?
not quite get it right. But because I've
not quite get it right. Did Wendy get it right or didn't she get it right? Not quite get it right. This would be, again, your chance to say, well, let me clarify what part was right and what part was wrong. She doesn't do that. She then puts in her typical word, what do you call it now? Wordsmith fashion. She then puts in all of this mix up and confusion that don't make no sense. Listen to what the woman says, and then I need somebody to please translate for me. Because poor me, with my little English, don't understand what the hell the woman talking about. Listen to what she says next.
Been on this earth for a long time. I understand that truth has that innate, wonderful propensity and capacity to surfacing and becoming most conspicuous.
What? Truth has the innate and wonderful propensity to do what? Hold on, rewind again, because I'm still confused.
I understand that truth has that innate, wonderful propensity and capacity to surfacing and becoming most conspicuous.
To surface and what? And something conspicuous? What? I don't even know what the woman's saying. Listen, all of these big words like the staircase in that house lead you to nowhere. And she does this all the time. Like I said, I don't tend to listen to her because 99% of the time, I'm simply not interested. Because I know you're lying. But say what? What the hell did this woman just say? Can somebody please interpret this for me? I need a translator. And I speak English, and I've spoken English my entire life, and I still don't know what she is saying. Hold on. Let me hear it again.
I understand that truth has that innate, wonderful propensity and capacity to surfacing and becoming most conspicuous.
Say what? Truth, You see, let me tell y'all something. There's different levels of confusion. And, we get confused by Donkey Teller. What his name is there now? John. His stories are confusing for a different reason. Her words are confusing, although they on the surface, make her sound like she's educated, make her sound competent. But when you really break it down and listen, is there anybody here, please help me understand what she just said about the truth? You can keep your words simple. Consider the audience that you're speaking to, ma'am. Keep your words simple and tell us what is it that you're saying about the truth? Well, somebody said word salad to rotted. Yes, it's a word salad with mix up all kind of thing. I don't understand what you just said. I don't know what you're talking about. And you guys sat there and listened to this press conference and nobody not picking up on this foolishness. El Rey said WTH this morning. What the hell? Myrta says I'm dying over here. We all dying because I don't know what the hell she's saying. Stop it. Stop confusing people. Like I said, the Bible talks about confusion. For God is not a God of confusion. Now, he was talking about peace in that particular section of Corinthians. But your words cause confusion as well. And why? Why is it necessary? Why? You trying to confuse people on purpose? Is that what's going on here? Anyway, let's finish what she was saying, honey child, because I still don't understand what she's saying.
Propensity and capacity to surfacing and becoming most conspicuous. Parliament's about to convene next week. I'll speak with Sir Alden later today that we can confirm a date, which we will publicize, and I would invite all persons with the anticipation to listen to Parliament, and you be
all persons with the anticipation. Wait a minute, honey child. So you're saying, let's understand what she just said, if we can break it down. You're going to be taking a bill that you're saying in 7 days should be done. Draft. Then you were telling people, listen to Parliament. She talked to Sir Alden to set the time. Then you all, with anticipation, listen to Parliament. Wait. Back up. Put the car in reverse and back it up. In all of that, where did I hear that there was going to be public consultation? Because I surely did not miss the public consultation. Did I? Is she saying that there's no public consultation? She just ran us through the process. Where did we hear about the public consultation on the draft? Listen again. Because in her word salad is the right word for it, mix up, combobulation. There are things that she didn't say that you need to pay careful attention to. Listen again.
It's about to convene next week. I'll speak with Sir Alden later today that we can confirm a date, which we will publicize, and I would invite all persons with the anticipation to listen to Parliament, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that the rule of gossip has not died, and what is told to the first person by the time we get to the second person is so construed that you would have a difficulty, even on a magnifying glass, to see what was actually said in the beginning.
Well, I tell you what, woman, under magnifying glass today, we're having a difficulty understanding what you're saying. Where's the public consultation? Surely this UPM government would never in a million years think that they could pass any changes to any legislation or bring any bill in this country without public consultation. Especially a bill that underwent so much public consultation, 10 years of it, that on a whim, you guys are going to get in since November of last year and just in a couple months make changes and have no public consultation? You must be crazy. This is ridiculous. This doesn't make any sense. You've been in office almost 30 years now, but I'm telling you, I have faith in what you call your people in Cayman Brac, that they will do the right thing. And if they have to remove you from office, Cayman Brackers, I hear you can have a choice. Y'all need to think long and hard. This is a woman who in truth has failed you for 30 years. So y'all have been so fooled by the cloaks and daggers and the appearances and the church sermons and the quoting of the Bible and all this kind of stuff. So I now tell you from a point of clarity. I want to speak as clearly as I possibly can. We're going to leave all big words aside. This woman is dishonest. She is a liar. She's duplicitous. She's cutthroat. Her behavior speaks volumes. And her words confusing as hell. But her behavior speaks volumes. And it always has. But for whatever reason, you, the people, you, the voters of this country, have been woefully confused. This is a woman who claims, yes, that she cares about your children, that she cares about their education. And she has been in now for 2 consecutive terms as education minister. 90% of your graduation ceremonies, she don't even show up to. Does that behavior become indicative of someone who actually cares? No valid excuse, you know. She just don't show up. As education minister, that's the minimum, bare minimum that you can do is show up. She telling these children, oh, y'all have a brand new building at John Gray High School that we overspent millions of dollars on. Okay, now y'all make sure you respect it and behave and try to learn something. Try and learn what? Go down to the primary school results. So confusing. So confusing because her children are failing. We are throwing money, because that's her philosophy, just throw money at it and that'll solve the problem. Teachers getting the most money they've ever made. Most expensive buildings than we have ever had in the history of the Cayman Islands and government schools and systems. Now we got to spend another 50 million plus on the BRAC. And we don't see the results manifesting themselves in our children, who are then being thrown out there in the real world and told to go out there and compete with other people. How are they going to compete? When they're failing and you can't get back to basics. Our children are fighting in schools, assaulting each other, beating each other up, doing the most. And this woman has never, as much as she believes in prayer, she has never once said, let's have a meeting. Let's do this. Let's do that. I want to speak to our young people. And what is it that has them under so much angst and anxiety? They're suffering from depression. Post-COVID, we have had more young children commit suicide in this country. And this woman has never once, as education minister, talk about it. There's reports of a suicide pact in this community amongst these young people. And she has never, with all of her eloquent words, according to her, words of confusion, really, but regardless, she has never spoke on it. Ask yourself why. She's been a failure as a politician. She has been a failure as education minister. God knows, at one point she administered sports, I believe. She was a failure then. But you, the people of the Cayman Islands, are easily fooled, you see? Because when people come to you and they pretend to be a Christian, when y'all know that they're not, why y'all be engaging in this foolishness for? Listen, I can tell y'all something. When I went away last October, I had one little lady, bless her little heart. I think she's from East End. Say, Sandy, I really love your show, you know, but oh, Miss Sandy, the word sometimes after the 10:30 show, I said, ma'am, why are you listening? You know when I'm going to turn up and when I'm going to pop off and use certain words. So why are you listening? If you don't like it, don't listen. Why can't you just not use those words? Because I wouldn't be me and I wouldn't be being honest. But you see, this is the Caymanian way. Y'all would rather me pretend, take out my prayer beads, get my Bible, and pretend to be something that I am not. When I will tell you to your face, this is who I am. If I want to cuss you out, I can cuss you out. Right? I'm not pretending to be no Christian. Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to say something here. You know, pride takes on different forms and shapes and colors.
Mm-hmm.
But the acronym for pride that I got is personal reputation in doing everything.
Sorry, personal reputation.
In doing everything.
Okay.
That's the acronym for pride.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all of these big words, it's just a bath for pride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, because at the end of the day, you know, we have to recognize the public. Are we trying to reach the public?
Yes. The average person came and don't know what she's talking about anyway.
And even the good Lord, he was always about the least, the simple.
Yes. Simplicity.
He take the simple things to confound the wise.
Yeah. That's why he spoke in parables.
And he's looking for the childlikeness. And I'm telling you, we have to be careful at this time that we're not walking in the garment of pride of any kind. And not to take his name in vain. As if you stay humble, he will lift you up. If you exalt yourself, he will bring you down. Be childlike. Be simple. Don't take confidence in your own strength or your own abilities, or confidence in your own wisdom, because your wisdom is foolishness to the one who is wisdom. And the deceitfulness of riches, we need to find our rightful place now if we take the name of the Lord and connect ourselves with it. It grieves my heart.
Thank you
because
so
he will
much.
not allow his name to suffer reproach forever. Do we really represent him, or we just words? You know, words. And if our words is not his words, and if we're not doing his words, we're in a dangerous place. But pride, personal reputation in doing everything. Let's be careful of that. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, my dear. I mean, words of wisdom there, simple and yet perfectly understandable. No confusion there. What I'm telling you all this morning is you have to stop looking at what people say and watch their behavior and what they do. So in that moment when the lady was saying to me, oh, Sandy, I want to listen to you more. But, I'm like, woman, you get 3 hours of listening to me. 10:30 is my time. If I'm going to come a little bit harder at 10:30, please understand that you don't have to listen to that segment. Didn't you get enough with the 3 hours? Now it's going to be 2 hours. Y'all need to pay attention to what she says versus what she does. What kind of Christian woman would have been acting the way that she was acting with her driver / personal assistant? That man from which island he was from again? Barbados or whatever. May he rest in peace. Everybody know the relationship that was going on there, allegedly. And yet this woman up in church talking about she's a Christian. You would not be engaging in that type of thing, woman, if you were actually a Christian. What you need, St. Lucia, thank you. What you need to stop, listen, you're a woman who's not been married for years, and you're not going to make us believe that you don't have sexual desires or whatever. If the man was fulfilling your needs, be honest, God would understand. After all, he made us. But the duplicitousness, the hiding, give him a government job so he can follow me. Oh, book a hotel room next door. What are you going to have hotel rooms next door with adjoining doors for? Look at Cayman Brack. What has she done for Cayman Brack in 30 years? Set up a road program to keep y'all in her back pocket because you got to get a salary from government because you're not employable any other way. Can't get a job. And so government is going to pay you to do road cleanup. As much as they have a full-time road cleanup crew in Cayman Brack, we should never see a piece of litter anywhere in Cayman Brack. It's not that clean. They're not doing that good of a job. Instead, they're using that infrastructure to sell drugs on the streets of Cayman Brack and deliver those same government workers, because they know every nook and cranny in Cayman Brack, or the distribution point for drugs in Cayman Brack. And this woman knows it. She knows what's happening in Cayman Brack, and she does nothing about it. Let's talk about the scourge of crack and cocaine addiction and what it is doing to that little island in the Brack. Alcoholism, sexual abuse. And this woman remains silent and every bit of it, and yet has the audacity to call herself a Christian. The only thing she's ever prayed down damnation on is the LGBTQ plus community. Remember that? Remember when she went out and put up that voice note? Oh, let's pray. Oh, good Lord. Pray for our children, woman. Our children are stressed out. They're taking their own lives, but you can't pray for that. As a leader, somebody said, don't forget, she's also failed as premier. As a leader of this country, can we hear some prayers around that? Can we see some action, some tangible measures put in place? You're not fooling me. Huh? I'm always suspicious. I'm not easily fooled. And I can tell you what, over the years, I have tried my best to like you, and you're not a likable person. I have said, I've soul searched deep. Sandy, what is it about this woman that really, as them old people say, my spirit just don't take to her? I'm trying to put my finger on it because it has never taken to you. And you know what it really comes down to? The biggest issue is you're just not, what you see is not what you get. And I can't deal with people like that. I don't like liars. I don't like cutthroats. I don't like duplicitous people. Look at her political career, how she has flipped and flopped. Her name should be Flounder because she's flipped and flopped more than anybody else. She has been a member of every single party, helped form every single group in the past 30 years, taken out McKeeva. Now they back bosom buddies. Taken out Kurt Tibbetts. I don't think she's technically taken out Alden, but when she's part of UDP and part of, did she ever even resign from UDP? I mean, the woman is all over the place. No loyalty to anybody. No loyalty to self. No loyalty to, back it up. No loyalty to God first. No loyalty to the truth. No loyalty to the country. No loyalty to any political party, to any political person. And so the more I get to know about her, the more I am unable to give her the benefit of the doubt. And so, November was the straw that broke the camel's back for me because I was aware and I heard conversations. This is one thing, she's so smart. I heard conversations where people had her on the phone and had her on speakerphone, and I'm sitting there listening to her. We have, what is his name now? Wayne Panton's back. I got him. Me, Sabrina, what prayer beads boy the name? Andre, and Sabrina, Andre, Julie, and Heather. This is when they were trying to take him out before the last time. We go into his house now. I think it was like a Sunday or something. Oh, we're going to go to his house. And we're letting him know we're there for them. We're supporting you. They're not taking you out because you got us. She was the ringleader of that. And I'm listening to her. No, I'm with the premier. He's what this country needs now. And then what she did in the background, even used the fact that the premier was more concerned about his poor driver who was having some kind of a health crisis and had to be rushed to the emergency room. She used that to quickly galvanize the forces. Let's go form a new government. Woman, you're not an honest person. And anybody who can come to my doorsteps of my house that I got paid CNB so much money for and lie to my face about, oh, I'm supporting you and I got you and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. You would never be able to breathe in my direction again. I don't know what kind of relationship you and Wayne have or whatever. That's not really my business. But I can tell you one thing. If it was me, you see me on one side of the street, you better get on the next side. That's what I would tell you. Because again, I'm an honest person. So when I see you in person, I'm likely to tell you about your cutthroat self. You're the worst. Power hungry, money hungry. Y'all see that woman as simple as she look, right? Won't get the hair done, won't hire a stylist to make her look half decent. Y'all think that a woman not worried about money? Well, then maybe where she's spending it is a real question. Because someone tell me she got one son who's never worked a day in his life, but yet the other day could go and buy $100,000, $200,000-$300,000 house and piece of land in Cayman Brac. Because mommy dearest is going to take care of people who don't want work. Huh? She concerned about money a little bit more than the Bible would probably, agree with. She just not spending it on looking good. That's the only problem. Let me tell y'all something else. Something came to my attention recently that she's doing in Cayman Brac. You see, a lot of the people don't know what's going on. And the fact that she does not know, in fact, that you all, my apologies, do not know what she's up to and what she's doing is of grave concern. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. There is something that she's currently doing at the moment that she's gazetted in Cayman Brac, and I need y'all to pay attention to this. Because you've got to be prepared to ask yourselves, why would she do something like this? So there's a parcel of land in Cayman Brac. I'm going to show y'all. this. Hold on now. Let me pull this out. I'll put it over on this next screen. That a single landowner who happens to be an expatriate owns. For some reason, and I can't tell you exactly why yet, Julie has her eye on this person's piece of land in terms of government acquisition. Okay? Let me see here now. Big piece of land in Cayman Brac. There are parcels all around it that are owned by other people. And she has decided that this piece of land is important to her, so much so that she is going to put a road through the interior right in the middle of this landowner's property with no good justification or reason. Right? The surrounding and neighboring areas the person has, other people have access to. So people can get in and out of their neighborhoods. That's not the problem. Mm-hmm. The suspicion, and they've already gazetted it, is that the reason why she is doing this is that for whatever reason, she wants government to be able to quickly do what's called compulsory acquisition and drive the owner to the negotiating table so government can do a land grab. Folks, this was already approved by Cabinet in April of 2024. You see, one of the reasons they had to get rid of Wayne Panton, because Wayne is the type of person that would say, why are we doing this? What interest do we have in putting let me tell you how big the parcel is, right? In order for her to put the road through at the angle that she wants to do it, right in the middle of the woman's land, the length of it, I'm told, the cost of that is like some $15 million or something. What is the benefit to the community? Why is she doing this? Huh? Private landowners have rights. Yes, the government can do compulsory acquisition. But on what grounds do you put a mean road through private land? You have all this other development around the woman's property that people have roads coming in and out and they can easily access. Why is she going after this private landowner's property? Cabinet approved it in April of 2024. You see, there is a lot that Cabinet has been up to that I'm telling you all. When Wayne was there, he would not allow this sort of thing to happen. Even that guy in Cayman Brac, remember the landowner, right? That she actually, I'm trying to look at the Gazette here. It's been gazetted and everything. Remember the guy who had his house in arrears? Remember him? Oh, we can expand this and we do that. So, you know, we can pay off his what? We got compulsory acquire, Raymond Scott, thank you. We're going to compulsory acquire land and a house that is in foreclosure. Do not be fooled by what this woman is actually doing. She has no intentions of doing any of that stuff that she claimed. This was to support one individual and his family so that she can get more votes for herself. They took it to Wayne Panton, and Wayne Panton said, we can't do this. On what grounds are we in a position to do this through government? If you want to help the man, Julie, you got enough money in your bank account, you own enough land in the Brac, help him in your personal capacity. The man claimed that people could loan him money and he'd pay it back, although he's never paid back government ever. So you take your chance and you loan him money personally. Why are you using government facilities, meaning government money, in order to bail this man out who himself has never, ever done what he should have done? He has proven himself to not understand basic budgeting, finance, and that when you borrow money from people, you have to pay it back. He missed the memo on how loans work. and you turn around and reward someone like him. Let me see where in this now. We're going to look for this thing. You turn around and reward someone like him by bailing him out. Let me look for this. Where in this Gazette is this now? This is what they do. If y'all are not paying attention, there's a lot of things that they are skirting under the table. And they are doing. And we, the people, have no clue. We don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can find where this is now. All right. Roads Act, Section 6, authorization to enter lands. In exercise of the powers conferred on Cabinet by Section 6 of the Roads Act, I think this is the section here. Hold on. Right? This is what the woman is up to. Don't be fooled. Public Works Department is hereby declare that it is a public interest to lay out and construct an access road to, as described here under. I believe this is the one. Why? What's the necessity of this road to go through this private owner's land? Because she wants to frustrate the woman into selling to government. And these poor people, I mean, they go to Kim and Brack and they buy all this land and they think they know what's going on. They don't have a clue. Right? Anything they want, they got to run to Moses. Oh, Mr. Moses. Oh, Miss Julie. You know, in a free and democratic society, government does not just take your land because they feel like it. Compulsory acquisition is supposed to be utilized legally under certain conditions. Certain criteria have got to be met. When you have people like her in power, they don't care about that criteria. They will spend $15 million putting in a road that is not required in Kim and Brack. Why? Because government wants the land. Why does Julie want this land? For what purpose? Ask yourself these questions because the questions must be asked. So they've already done a Section 6 notice. What's the date on this? Hold on now. This is April 26th. Right? They've gazetted it straight in April, did a Section 6 notice, did a Section 3 notice. Can you really trust people who do this sort of thing, who encroach on private property? The Section 3 notice was dated the 9th day of April, 2024. She's moving really, really fast. Ask yourselves, why is that the case? Look here. This is the map. Big parcel. She's exerting undue influence. If this woman really, the landowner, she really thought about it, she should challenge the government. This person says the road goes through a single private owner's land. This is not a road that is requested or needed by any surrounding landowners or communities there. Why is the road necessary? How much is the road going to cost? Everything Cayman Brack costs double, if not triple the cost in Grand Cayman. Why is this a necessity for the Brack? Why is the Minister of Lands and District Administration and Premier, what is she trying to achieve and at what cost? Does anything in this government led by this Premier understand, or does anyone led by this Premier understand the definition of abuse of power or abuse of public office? They don't understand it or they don't care. I'm not really sure which one is the case. She brings things to them and they just rubber stamp it because she knows how to play the game of politics. You heard what she say? Oh, well, Minister Jay, he's not here at the press conference, but yes, I know he's concerned about food security, and 1, 2 little coconut trees got blown down. So now, I got to make sure that he gets a little something extra over here. let me tell y'all something. Take a look at, I'm going to bring this a little bit deeper. I think we're going to go into a little bit of overtime, but I do have to get to court because there's important sentencing today. Think about this for a second. The press conference that they had on Friday, ask yourself, why was that press conference even necessary? We had a storm, praise the Lord. Didn't blow down much anything. But yet they had almost a 2-hour press conference to say what exactly? Let me all break it down. She's aware that this government's public ratings, if we had such a thing, is really, really dismal. And a lot of it is riding on this National Conservation Act. Y'all are willing to go out there and protest. I'm on air, sir, on the radio.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Wagwan.
Wagwan.
You need to, you're West Bay or what?
We need to get in a 47 to take out.
All right.
47, 8 to take out. Open them.
No. You're going to B, not A. You can't get into A.
Yeah, but we need to take out the thing to go over B.
No.
The thing is inside.
Oh, then you can't do it. You can't do it. I'll call you after the show. No.
Okay.
No, because you can't go in there.
All right. Open the other side for me. Open.
All right, go by the door. Go by the door. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Listen. Ask yourselves, my apologies, by the way. Ask yourselves, why was it necessary? You know why? A storm that didn't even blow down 1-2 little coconut trees. It was necessary because she believes that, again, going to fool you all with a couple little cheap antics. Have a press conference and say much ado about nothing and pretend like we're all care. We got the Minister of Tourism. I don't even know what the Minister of Tourism was talking about. Did tourism shut down because of this little miniature storm? I don't know of any hotels shutting down. The tourists that didn't want to leave came out. They were like, oh, we can just ride this out. Shutting down. The airport opened back up the same day. Why this big halapabloo, what the word is? Halaboo? Halapaloo, whatever. About nothing. I'm like, why are we even having a press conference? What are they going to be saying? Oh. Wow, we're going to have a press conference because the people are going to think that we actually care. And we're going to talk about, all these little surface things and blah, blah, blah. You had a press conference 2 days ago. Thank God everything was fine. There's no need to have a press conference to say nothing. Someone said hotels stop taking reservations for 3 days, could have detrimental effect for future bookings. For 3 days? You mean those 3 days would have been booked up already? I mean, when you're traveling to the Cayman Islands, you have to do a reservation well in advance. Take it to somebody who's now in that space. Somebody not come in here tomorrow and call today. And 99.99999% of cases said, oh, I'm trying to come in today. You're not going to answer the phone calls for 3 days. Everything is fine. We're already booked up into next year. People are taking reservations to 2025. That's no national emergency. That's no reason for a press conference. This press conference is more about smoke screens and mirrors to make you believe that this government, oh man, this camera, is doing the most. When really the people that need to take the credit was the civil servants, hazard management, Mr. John Tibbetts and his team. It's the civil servants who are about their business and getting stuff done. This woman taking the opportunity to tell you about how she was sleeping on a cot. Oh yeah, this is the first time that I've been into Cayman Brac since Hurricane Gilbert during the storm. And I had to sleep on a cot. Woman, I don't care. You get paid $12,000 a month. First of all, you're not fitting on no cot, so I don't know what you're lying for. But regardless, you're not fitting on no cot talking foolishness, but your restorations.
On our shores, our focus have now turned to recovery, restoration in order to.
Yes. Restoration, my Ras. What restorations? We had no significant damage. A 2-hour press conference. Woman, you could have done a 5-minute recorded video interview, right? And elucidated us in that amount of time. You wasted people's time. Restorations. Huh? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But she thinks that they're fooling you, the people. They've been in office since November. Understand and stick a pin. Never had a press conference when they took over the government. That would have been a time when the country was feeling destabilized and, a press conference would have been appropriate. Okay. She had no press conference. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 8 months this UPM government has been in. And I not hear nothing about no press conference. This little storm come, blow a little wind. Some couple mangoes off the tree, 1 or 2 little pears. I don't even know if the coconuts fell off. And you can have 2 press conferences around it. I understand maybe the one going into the storm because we weren't really quite sure what it was going to do.
Thanks for clarifying, because I was a bit confused by your answer earlier.
Yes, he was confused by your answer. And we were all confused by your answer and a lot of the things that you've been up to. She talks about how she's, all Caymanians, not just Caymanians, but she put everybody together, saying not just Caymanians, but everybody. Listen to what she said.
As we walked around, it wasn't a Ministry of Tourism or Children and Family Affairs. We were all Caymanians. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, I'm not talking about whether you're a resident or a foreigner. We were Caymanians because we were here for such a time as this.
Now, excuse me. Excuse me. Everybody in the back of the class, pay attention to me now. All right. Residents, some of them stick around. Some of them are parking their car on the roadside and heading straight to the airport. If you stayed, that's great. Thanks. All right. Okay. But let me be very, very clear about something. I'm not calling you a Caymanian just because you stayed during a storm. Are you crazy? I'm confused. We must now call you a Caymanian? What the hell? What are you saying to me? That'll make you a Caymanian because you stayed during a pending hurricane? You not heard what the woman said? That yes, we're all Caymanians because they decide to stay with us.
We walked around. It wasn't a Ministry of Tourism or Children and Family Affairs. We were all Caymanians. And when I say that, I'm not talking about whether you're a resident or a foreigner. We were Caymanians because we were here for such a time as this.
All right. So apparently that's all it takes in this day and age to make you a Caymanian. Boy, where is the so-called immigration reform that we've been waiting for? That's good enough. You just stick around for a storm that's coming, and she's gonna say you're all Caymanians. Don't call them residents or anything else. We're all Caymanians. Y'all have watered down what being a Caymanian is so much that it's absolutely disgusting. Somebody said, let me say it again for everybody in the back of the classroom. Tell them, Sandy, we have set the bar so low. That'll make you a Caymanian, huh? That'll make you a Caymanian no more than me sitting down watching ABC News makes me an American. It's just ridiculous. Somebody said to me the other day about her comment, the previous press conference. Let me tell you what they said because they were not happy with her. They said, Sandy, what is wrong with this woman? She's supposed to be the premier of this country and representing all the people. But yet, when she has a press conference, she has to divide us even more. Listen to what she said at the previous press conference before the storm.
As it relates to sister islands, you would have heard me say time and time again, I feel almost like a fish out of water. It's the first time since Hurricane Gilbert that I'm in Grand Cayman and not home with my people, but I did go over there, and I can tell you they are as prepared as anyone in any district.
Not at home with my people. Juliana O'Connor Connolly, you are the premier of the Cayman Islands. We're all supposed to be your people. Huh? I didn't listen to that one either. But let me tell you all what the people were saying about that. Her people apparently reside only in Cayman Brac. When you decide that you want to grab the position of being the leader of this country, we, the people of the Cayman Islands, are 3 beautiful islands, not just your people on the bluff in Cayman Brac or Watering Hole or whatever section of the Brac that you're supposed to be from. Your people is every single Caymanian, regardless of color, district, island. That's your people. So like I said, once again, I wasn't listening to her, but this is what somebody sent. And the same civil servants, like I tell you, who she think laughing with her, they're sharing their sentiments. Our premier can't be home with my people. They put that in quote. You read it for yourself. So all of CI isn't just the Brac, makes me homesick, but I will get through it with the rest of you. She makes me sick. This is what this person said. All I could do, you see my little emoji with the head, the hand on the head, like, oh my God, I can't even. Listen, y'all have got to listen to what this woman actually says. I'm not going to go into overtime because I really do need to get to court. There's an important case I want to cover. More breaches, stuff that she's not doing anything about, not fixing any laws, not fixing pension, not fixing insurance, breaches, all this kind of stuff. These legislators they should have their hands full, and they're not doing any of it. Folks, election season is upon us. My best advice is to pay very close attention to the people that you have given 30 years in office almost. And how much have they benefited the people, her people, even just of Cayman Brac? If that was the litmus test, she wouldn't have to be doing all these short-sighted money grab antics to get and gain political favor and votes. She would be about the people's business and doing it the right way. And she does not do that. So, Julie, you and I will never be friends. You and I will never like each other, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to be part of your concubine or whatever you got going on. I'm here to provide an outlet for the people of the Cayman Islands. You don't like that because people's eyes are waking up. The wool is being removed from their eyes. They're seeing you for who you actually are. And you do not like that. And yes, I have a big part to play in it. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. So what? Don't you think in the good words of the Bible that people should be able to see what you really are and who you really are? I'm just saying. The truth has the potential to set you free. But I know one thing. Come 2025 in the election cycle, folks, we can make better decisions. We can make better informed decisions. And we can set ourselves free from some of these no good politicians. It's time that we do our part. This person says Sandy mentioned how when the hurricane was coming, the people who came in BRAC couldn't get plywood because they were selecting people from the voters list, the ones that voted for her, and it came from a lot of people from the BRAC that told me. I'm not surprised. This person says she used a lot of big words where the average Joe can't understand. She just fill in the blank. Pretty much, she said the truth has the most capacity to be conspicuous, meaning sometimes truth can be difficult to find or may be hidden at times. I know what conspicuous means, but put the entire phrase together and it didn't make any sense. As she would say, that's a leading question, allegedly. She doesn't like Grand Cayman, it's obvious. We're going to go into 2 seconds of overtime. Radio folks, please have a blessed day. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Now off the radio. Remember, we're only doing a 2-hour show now until 9:30, which, by the way, Instagram folks, y'all still there after 2 hours? I wonder if they fixed that problem that we were having. I'm going to zip my goat mouth. Julie, please listen to me very, very carefully. Y'all know I like to drop that song because I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you because you just not right. You can't come straight, none at all. You're crooked. And yes, radio is over. Radio done 9:30. That's it. If you want to listen to the extra cold hard truth, you got to log in on the stream now. We're only doing a 2-hour show now. Julie, I don't fuck with you. Literally and figuratively. Because like I said, I kind of think you up in your feelings, you know. I think you like me in a different kind of way. And as I tell my friends in the community, there's a saying, says I'm strictly dickly. Go look it up in your verbiage. Don't get it twisted. Please, don't get it twisted. I'm holding you accountable for the things that you haven't done, that you're supposed to do, and the things that you do that demonstrate your duplicitous nature, your dishonesty. Somebody said, good morning, Sandy. Juju was at the Thanksgiving church service yesterday talking about the parade, and don't want what that was trying to preach. She's trying to be like Mia Motley and how she can speak, but she will never walk in Mia Motley's shoes. Come on, Sandy. She's a failure as the premier also. You sure Juju don't have land in that area too? Only God knows. I want to tell them that stealing is also a sin. Yeah, so much more PR status will be given out now because they rode out Hurricane Beryl. Julia can talk about pride parades all she wants. Like I said, that's the only thing she has energy for. You know, there's a saying that people who thou does protest too much. I think it was Shakespeare who originally said that. When they go overboard, in particular with this LGBTQ thing, you got to really look at why she hates on them people so much. She better take a good look in the mirror and come to terms with who she is. Free yourself, honey child, and the rest will follow. You and McKeeva need to free yourself and stop trying to live a life on the down low. It ain't healthy. Be who you are. I can introduce you to a few people in the community who would be willing to accept you just as you are. But they say, come to Jesus as you are. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. These people want to pay men $1,000 for blowjobs in the truck and hide in the bushes, but yet want to get up in church and be singing holier than thou and cussing down gay people. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, just shut the fuck up and sit down. Take several seats. Because y'all think that we don't know what's going on? Well, some of y'all might not know, but I know one thing I know. Even your own supporters talking about how you be trying to hit on them and how you be trying to offer them stuff. Y'all need to stop the foolishness. Thou does protest too much. Why are you obsessed with gay people? Huh? Yes, we ain't give him a kaboom on that one. Kaboom! Obsessed on education, the dismal state of that. Obsessed on immigration reform. Obsessed on campaign reform while you're at it. So that these, whoever the hell they are, what are the developers? What Mr. Panton called them the cabal. I don't give a hoot who they are. You're in too many people back pocket. Okay. That's what your obsession should be lying. Somebody said, don't forget that her brother's a Rastafari and smokes weed openly and has never been arrested to my knowledge. Seen it with my own two eyes. He's smoking at La Esperanza bar and police right there and did nothing. Yeah, boy, you're in that juju train. You get certain types of protection. Why is she not talking about that? Somebody said even Ray Charles could see this disaster was going to happen with these clowns that we elected, slippery slope into Banana Republic. So if she throws money at the problem, what is the $50 million being thrown at in Cayman Brac? Because there is no problem really with education in the Brac. There might be a facilities problem, and nobody denies that, just like everyone else, they could have improvements in the facility, but that does not equate to $50 million school, which, by the way, remember, she refuses to let us see the business case on, because you know what? There is no business case to justify what she's trying to do. Wasting the people's money. There's somewhere in the Bible that must talk about wasting money and how that can't be very Christian-like either. No, honey child. It's not going to work. So listen, I want to get to court because I want to report on this case, but let me tell y'all something now. Julie, I would, under normal circumstances, you know them little kids when they get fighting words now, They'd be like, you keep my fucking name out your mouth. No. I'm not going to tell her that. As a matter of fact, she keeps doing me a favor. Because every time she puts my name in her mouth, I got to come for you even harder and tell the people the truth even more. So you keep talking about me. Keep talking about me in your little private circles. Keep talking about me in cabinet. Keep talking about me in caucus. Talk about me when you're praying to God with your little prayer cloth. Okay? Don't talk about me in the bathroom, the shower, because I think that will going on too. Don't think about me and talk about me then. But you keep talking about me otherwise, because every single time I hear you talking about me, you keep calling out Mall Road. You're doing it with the civil servants. You're doing it at press briefings. I got to talk about you, and I'm going to ride you, not literally, to be clear, but I'm going to ride you on the issues that matter to this country. Yes. Where is the minimum wage legislation? Where is that? The sexual harassment legislation that has had so much public consultation. Why can't we get that all no? You know why? Because people like McKeeva Bush that you have in there, people like Chris Saunders that you were talking to and that you have in there, up under your frock skirt, you would not be able to engage with those people, knowing that people would try and use the same rights now, if you ever pass it, against your own cabinet members and your own caucus members and your own party members. Wake up, folks. Nothing meaningful is getting done by this woman. It is time to vote her ass out of politics. As big as it is, it's time for her to go. Now listen, we gotta have a choice, A lot of districts, it's gonna be tough. Yes, honey child. Someone say, get to court. Yes, Symphony. I'm going. It's gonna be hard in certain districts because we're not gonna have much of a choice. I can tell you all that now. The choice is gonna be dismal. But in Cayman Brac, I hear that Mr. What his name is there? Dan Scott is coming for Julie. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Dan Scott, but I can tell you what, them Cayman Brackers better try and decide to give this man a chance. He's actually accomplished something in his life and ran something successfully. The only thing that Julie has accomplished is confusion, confusing words, no successful businesses, nothing else. She's only been successful at being a duplicitous, cutthroat politician. That shouldn't be something that we reward her for. Take her fucking ass out of office come 2025. Cayman Brackers, it's time that you woke up. Nothing that she has implemented, which has been very little, has been beneficial to the people of the Cayman Islands. Give Dennis Scott an opportunity. He is at the very minimum qualified. She won't talk about she's a practitioner, she's a lawyer. Go and look at what lawyering she was doing. She'd just gotten called to the bar and hadn't done nothing yet. But Tanya, if I had stayed in law, I could have been a partner by now. Fuck you. You would be no partner in no decent firm. Listen to you. Listen to how you talk. You think any clients would have wanted you? What the hell? Listen to me. I'll get to court. Because I got to report on these scoundrels that we have abusing the poor people, including their own Jamaicans. There's another one coming that I'll be reporting on tomorrow. Anyway, see y'all 7:30 in the morning. Yes, honey child. Show is now 7:30 to 9:30. We cut back the show to 2 hours. Keep it up, Julie. Keep talking about me because I can keep talking about you. The difference is the people of this country are actually paying you over 12 grand a month for you to perform and to do stuff, and you not doing nothing. Yeah, that's who I'm going to court for. That's exactly who I'm going to court for. Don't worry about that, honey child. That's who I'm going for. Her, same one. Let me hurry up. Same one. Yep. Yeah, I'm going for her. Anyway, listen to me carefully. Y'all got to do better. Okay? She's being paid by the people of the country to do a job. She's not paying me. Thank God. Yeah, the civil servant don't have no permission to advertise. Well, thank God I'm not relying on no civil service money. I look like I can starve to you. I'm not going to starve. I can still continue to eat good. Because there are people who are going to say, you know what? This woman, you don't have to agree with what she does. You don't even have to like her methodology. But she is bringing the truth to the people, which is way more than we can ever say about you. Have you ever told the truth about anything in your life? Huh? That's what I want to know. You need to try it on for size. Try telling the truth for a change, ma'am. But I'm not going to count on it because you haven't done it in 30 years. Listen, the veil of stupidity is being removed from people being fooled by you. You can, listen, if you want to talk about God, go become a minister of the church. Go get your theology certification, degree, whatever. There's good money in that too, I'm told. Go focus on that. You're not really benefiting the people of the Cayman Islands in any way, shape, or form. You've destabilized this country so many times that it's ridiculous. On that note, I got to go. Carly says, holy crap, Sandra gone off on Julie's ass. I mean, it's big. So, I got to take my time, honey child. I got work in sections. So I would say that we probably only address maybe 45, 50% of it this morning. But we'll keep on top of her. I got my eyes on you, Julie. And I know exactly what your intentions are with this National Conservation Act, and you're not going to get away with it. You are not going to get away with it. The people will have their say. You don't want to listen to the people? Dan Scott, step up to the table, my brother. We coming for you. Folks, have a blessed day. See y'all tomorrow morning at 7:30. Remember now, honey child, the show is now 2 hours in the morning, which is good because that means we can pop off at 9:30, even earlier. Y'all be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.